We ring this bell 3 times. The first is to call us into relationship with those to whom we owe a debt, our forebears who preceded us here and once occupied this land that most of us now call home. The second calls us into relationship with ourselves and one another, that we learn to grow with wisdom and compassion and share it generously. And the third calls us into relationship with our children's children, out to the 7th generation, helping us to realize that what we do now will be felt by those who come after us.
Good morning. I mean, I know we're small, but come on. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning to all of you here in Cole Hall, and good morning to all of our wonderful folks on Zoom with us this morning. We are so grateful that you all are here. We're going to be doing things just a wee bit different today because, well, it's me and Alexa. So, Avi, we're going to do something just a little special. With that, this morning we're not going to be doing any shared joys and concerns. We're going to be doing a special ritual. But if you do have something on your heart that you need to speak with somebody about, please, please, please make sure you reach out to Reverend Greg or Reverend Barbara. And they will be happy to talk to you, I'm sure. If you are here in Cole Hall, you can still put your joys and concerns in the book, and I will make sure that they get passed along to the encouragement team. With that, we'll move into our call to worship. Our call to worship this morning comes from Ian Riddle, and it's called Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Over an out-of-focus background of musicians on a chancel, a single hand is raised in praise, fingers spread. Come, come, whoever you are. Do you hear that voice calling you, calling us? That voice which calls us together here today in this room, made holy by our presence and by the sacred breath we share in our singing and speaking and silence. That voice which calls us to remember that we are not alone and that we are inextricably linked to all other life, woven into a vast tapestry of existence of which we are a powerful, integral, and holy part. And just as we have been called together here today, we act as the voice, the heart, the hands of another call, the call to walk with the wanderers, sing and dance with the worshipers, proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, wrap the despairing and the broken in the arms of love and community, and hold the hands of all of us who have broken our vows and call us back again and again to the covenant and work of justice, humility, and steadfast faithfulness. For this we are here together today. So my friends, come yet again, come. Let us worship together.
And good morning again, everybody. Welcome to Mission Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Deanna Alm, and I am the president of the board. And we're so glad you've joined us this morning. Unitarian Universalism is a radically inclusive, non-doctrinal, non-dogmatic, open-minded, and open-hearted faith. We are people coming at truth from all different directions. We gather together across different identities, experiences, and beliefs to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Together we see our job as to love the hate out of the world, heal the hurt in ourselves and one another, and to be the change we'd like to see. Perhaps you're here for the first time, either here in person or with us online for the first time. We've been reaching out and asking people to bring their friends because we think the world, especially now, needs some friendly places to gather and find encouragement and hope. We have a social hour after the service where we can visit with each other in person on the patio or in breakout rooms on Zoom, and the worship host will give you more information about those breakout rooms immediately after the service. In the meantime, our welcome team is going to put a link to our weekly newsletter in the chat so you can see our events coming up. We encourage you to join anything that speaks to you. We also put our welcome email, welcome@mpuuc.org, and you can use that to request a newsletter or any other information. One thing we'd like to call your attention to is that attendees should be masked inside and outside of Cole Hall during the service, preferably with N95 or KN95 masks, and we have those available at the welcome table, and you are welcome to help yourself. Eating and drinking are only allowed outside. Please do not attend inside Cole Hall if contracting COVID-19 is an unacceptable risk for you or the people near you. More information is on the bulletin board to this side or in Week on the Peak. Please do what I have forgotten to do, but will do as soon as I sit down, and silence your electronic devices. If you hear or see something in this morning's service that inspires you or makes you laugh or brings you hope, please tweet it, share it on social media, or just tell a friend. We're trying to start a wave of love and justice with every gathering. Thank you so much for joining us.
I am unmasking. This is my first time in public without wearing a mask. Whoa, I feel so naked. It's really weird. I just got boosted, so I'm feeling particularly immune today. In case you don't know me, my name is Paul Clifford. I think everyone here might know me, but maybe not everybody out in the virtual world. Shawn asked me to talk a little bit about my experience with RE, our religious education program. I'm not sure when I joined the congregation. I think it was sometime around the beginning of Chris Schreiner's tenure as minister. But I remember back in those days, I kept seeing Chris and lots of other Mission Peak people at community meetings of various sorts, school board meetings, city council meetings, human relations committee meetings, all kinds of things. And I thought, these are my people. So I joined the congregation. I thought that my focus would be on political activism, but happenstance and interest has somehow brought me to RE. I've been very fortunate to have taught some of the middle school RE courses, to interact with the kids in various ways, to participate in the coming of age program, to be mentors for some of the kids in their coming of age program. And I hope soon to be teaching the OWL curriculum, the Our Whole Lives curriculum. So within the congregation, working with kids and youth has sort of been part of my spiritual practice. But what is RE? RE is one of those religious lexicon things, religious education. But what is that? Well, my first introduction to RE was as a Catholic growing up. We called it catechism in those days. And it was pretty dismal. The RE program was the 1941 edition of the Baltimore Catechism. Although we lived close to Baltimore, the Baltimore Catechism was used throughout the U.S. and much of the world. It was a series of questions and answers. Who made us? God made us. Why did God make us? To love and serve God, etc. All very canned answers, but no questioning allowed of those answers. That RE program was grossly insufficient to answer the pressing moral and ethical questions I was facing as a preteen and a teenager. I was reading the newspapers. I was aware of the chaos in the world. I was even aware of the chaos in the post-Vatican II church. I went to middle school and high school and was certainly experienced the injustices of the caste systems there. So I had questions, but I didn't have role models. I didn't have examples of people willing to discuss those questions and potential answers in an earnest and open way. No one was discussing the ethical or moral issues seriously. No one was giving me practical advice on how to survive adolescence. I could have really benefited from that. All I had was meaningless dogma and no questioning of it aloud. But I was searching for answers. Actually, at one point, my sister Karen and I, at the age of 14, we joined a program to teach catechism. Everybody else was adults. It occurred in a nunnery, every other Saturday for some period of time. But I do remember only one thing about it. My sister and I, and some brother, I don't know what order he was from, but it's a young brother in his 20s, we would sneak off in the middle of things to the kitchen. Everybody else would be, circling in the dark with candles and strumming guitars, post-Vatican II shenanigans. But we would escape that and go to the kitchen where there was an ancient Irish nun. Well, ancient in my eyes. She was maybe 50 but maybe 100. I'm not sure. She would regale us with stories of old Ireland while we drank her homemade root beer. She had a huge walk-in refrigerator, so we would drink the yeasty, root beery, fizzy brew, and after a few glasses, be really giddy. It was a wonderful experience. So that was my good RE experience as a youth. The other question I was facing was the one of sex, and that, at the time, was a completely taboo subject. The Catholic attitude seemed to be that sex was so dirty and disgusting that only people who absolutely loved each other ever engaged in it, and then only to produce children. But no questions were allowed, again. So I knew not to bring up that subject. That's why I really appreciate the ALP program here, and I'm eager to help teach it. I recently took the teacher training for it, and I learned so much. My gosh, that would have been so useful 50 years ago. I still hope some of it comes into use. So I've lived through the anti-exemplar RE programs, and that's why I'm motivated to teach it. But I don't have kids here, and I'm not involved in RE for the sake of particular kids, but I'm in it because I see it as sort of the core of our UU values. Don't we have some principle, I can never remember what order they're in, but something about encouragement of spiritual growth, somewhere in there. And that's what I see RE as, the promise that we make to each other to encourage our spiritual growths, whatever our age. Of course, the issues we face change throughout our lives. Some of us are getting our first and exciting and scary glimpse of adulthood as our bodies change in new and exciting ways. And for those of us who are in that position, we need mentors and we need real knowledge and skills to approach adulthood. Others of us are in early or mid-adulthood. We're in our productive years, but while we're busy with raising families and being productive economically, we're also looking for deeper meaning in our lives, some way to sort out all the chaos that we're facing as adults. Others of us are older and looking for ways to impart our wisdom to the younger generation. Still, others of us are older still, and again facing exciting changes in our bodies and trying to deal with them. But whatever our age, we're always looking for meaning in life, for ways to live authentically, personally, for individual purpose, and for community with others. And I see RE as the promise we make to each other to help us gain those things. So we're all spiritually growing, and to the extent that we're helping each other spiritually grow, that's RE for me. I've enjoyed working with the youth, but I think I also enjoy working one-on-one, and certainly in some of our other RE programs, particularly our poetry club, with adults exploring those issues. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for participating in that kind of RE.
ask people, say this first, and then say this, okay? Stand close to the mic.
Please join me in reciting these words which call us together as a community and with Unitarian Universalists across the globe. We light this chalice to remind ourselves to treat all people kindly, because we are all one family. To take good care of the earth, because it is our home. To live lives full of goodness and love, because that is how we become the best people we can be.
I think a bit of wax dripped on me. I got it up.
Okay. Oh, no. What are you doing, Alexa?
I'm getting ready for the service, Shawn. It's very important that we're prepared.
Well, but you've got me trapped in this cloth. What do you mean you're getting ready for the service?
We're getting ready by setting the scene.
But we're supposed to be doing the sermon, meaning we need to prepare spiritually. Why don't you, here, there's room here. We can meditate together. Look, you just, like this, and then,
No. Meditation is not the only way to get ready. We have cleanliness like godliness, right? You know what I'm talking about? Let's get rid of this stuff.
But how, I know that they say cleanliness is next to godliness, but like, how is this helping for the sermon? All you're doing is getting in my meditation space.
Well, you're in my setup space, Shawn.
But I don't understand. I'm just trying, we gotta get our hearts ready. We're giving a really important service. We're talking about divinity. It's gonna be really intense for the congregation. We gotta get ready. Sit down here, right here. Here we go.
You were ready. We have to get ready. We're not ready. We're not ready.
Why are we not ready?
Because we have to set the scene. We're gonna.
How is the
See,
scene
look
gonna
at
tell
this.
them about
No, we got
divinity? We gotta, you gotta sit here. No, you gotta sit here. You gotta cross your legs. You gotta get into a nice meditation space.
Does this wiggling help? Does that help you feel ready for the part of it?
It's part of the meditation. It's how you gotta get into the right space. And then you gotta make sure, because you gotta be comfortable, and then you gotta get your fingers like this, and then you gotta do the
Wait. So what does the finger thing do? Because I don't think that's anything.
So they teach you that you gotta, haven't you seen TV? Haven't you watched Reverend Greg meditate?
Well, but haven't you seen how people do such lovely setup in our space? I think that helps.
But we put up the thing.
Yeah, and now I'm putting up the other thing.
But you're just blocking the path and interrupting me.
I think you are blocking my path, Shawn.
But-
I think this is you interrupting me. Look at this, look at this.
It's also the wrong color for the liturgy. So, did you check the cabinet? Did you look in the cabinet?
It came from the cabinet.
But
It came from the cabinet, Shawn.
but it doesn't match with this,
It was
right?
in the blue section, Shawn.
But it's not blue.
I suppose not.
It's a shade of blue, though, so technically, it's half blue. So technically,
Now you got your kid involved in this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Alexa. We have to prepare for the sermon, not for the aesthetics. There's a whole aesthetics team. There's a team.
Wow.
I mean, I think it's just Valerie, but she's a team.
Hey, good job, team.
She's an amazing team. We gotta figure this out. Because this is the first time we're doing like a collaborative thing, and
Yeah.
like we're talking about really important stuff, and
Yeah.
like we gotta really sit down, get in our hearts, and figure it out. And your brooming and humming is not spiritual practices.
How dare you?
How dare you make fun of my wiggling?
Oh. I think we better get this together.
We have to get it together like right
I
now.
think you're right. Like right now.
Like right. What is that noise, Alexa? Oh my gosh, we gotta go!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Phone, we acknowledge you. We are here during the service.
I'll take your broom.
Thanks. Thanks, Shawn. It's fine. Thank you. We come together every Sunday and all throughout the week for more than ourselves. We come to support one another and the ministries that infuse worth and dignity into our children, our youth, our programs of learning and leadership, and our ministries in the larger world, including our efforts toward anti-racism and anti-oppression. To donate to Mission Peak, you may mail a check. You may use bill pay and have your bank mail that to us. You may drop an envelope with check or cash in the MPUU mail slot addressed to us. Envelopes are available for the welcome table if you need them. You may also pay online through PayPal with a credit or debit card. And note that we use PayPal for this, and they do charge us around 3%. Please make a contribution toward these worthy efforts by mailing your check to Mission Peak at the address on the screen. Your contributions make loving, learning, and leadership more possible.
Oh yeah, I took all the scripts, I'm sorry. Go. This morning we're doing a little bit different of a service, obviously. And instead of doing joys and concerns, we thought we would open up a space for us all to think about what divinity means for us, what the divine might be for you, or not be for you. So this morning we are going to listen to wonderful music by Jay and Jessica, and while they're singing and playing the piano, we invite you to sit and think about 2 to 3 words what you think divinity is. And we're going to have you come up, put a stone down, share your 2 or 3 words, and go back to your seat. If you don't feel like sharing, if you'll just put your hands across your chest so you don't have to share, you can just put a stone and move back to your seat. And for those of you that are joining us online today, if you'll put your 2 to 3 words in the chat, we will read them out loud, and Alexa will put a stone in for you as well.
slumber safely till the morrow, though we've by men outcast reviled. O maiden, see a maiden's sorrow. O mother, hear a suppliant child. Ave Maria. The murky caverns air so heavy shall breathe of balm if thou hast smiled. O maiden, hear a maiden pleading. O mother, hear a suppliant child. Ave Maria.
Please come share with us how you see divinity. From Kathy Bain, love and tolerance. From David Givens, life is divine.
Truly beyond words.
From Paul, universe, life.
Sharing music and nature.
From John Porter, chop wood, carry water. From Eric, the source of grace.
Life, light, love.
From Michelle, peace.
Harmony within, among, and beyond. Connection and compassion.
From Mark Rahman, being of use. From Corby, the UU Cub Scout Religious Award Program said it perfectly for me. Love and help.
Love.
From Danette, peace, sacred, eternal, whole. From Catherine, live, love, and laugh. From David Leftcourt, unexplainable grace, gratitude, and love. from Colleen Arnold, connection to nature and each other. For all of these ways of seeing the divine, we are incredibly grateful. And we will invite one last one from Callista: joy, gratitude, and love. In all of the ways that we see the divine, we see each other. We see and respect all that we all are and all that we can be as we gather together. May it be so, and may we enjoy this anthem from Jay and Jessica.
On this half-lit day, with your crown beneath your wing, every word just echoes, and the empty world sings. Where have you gone, my feather-light heart? I never imagined I could leave. In the glistening of the lost and open sky, tiny piece of you sits. Simple wish waits for reply. Where have you gone, my feather-light heart? You mustn't forget what love can see. Where have you gone, my feather-light heart? I never imagined I could leave. Where have you gone, my feather-light heart? You mustn't forget what love can see.
Let my face breathe a little. As we're talking this morning about preparing to encounter divinity, we have to look at what we mean by divinity. Over the years, I have defined divinity in a number of different ways, including a number of years where I had no desire to think about anything close to divinity. For me, divinity doesn't have just one definition. It ebbs and flows.
Wait. Why are you talking about souls and multiple divinities?
Well, I was just getting started. I have like a whole thing, and like, you see I've got like quotes in here and some good stories.
Yeah,
and-
so this is the whole thing, but I thought we were doing the thing together.
Well, we are, but I'm gonna go first, and I'll talk a little longer, obviously, and then you can just like say a few words when I'm done.
Just a few words.
Yeah, just like a couple of words.
When you're done?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a together thing very much. That sounds like a Shawn thing, and then maybe Alexa's here, kind of, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's...
No, you said this was a together thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're together here.
Okay, could just, my corporeal form is indeed here.
Yes.
But like my thoughts, I get to have my thoughts too, right?
Well, but we only have the one pulpit.
But we have two thoughts. Probably more.
But I wrote a whole thing.
I have a thing too. Look, I have a thing too. See?
You have scribbles.
How dare you? My scribbles are very thoughtful things. They're bullet points, Shawn.
I think we need to get some other people to weigh in on this.
You think so?
Yeah, and first I'm gonna start with my buddy Paul, because
Oh.
I know he's gonna be on my side. So, like, Paul, come up here, and can you get involved, please? Like, I need your help here, man. I'm just like, I'll put my mask on so we can get more people involved, because we need to work this out.
I am not taking sides.
Oh, well then, what use are you, Jessica?
But
Paul?
Jessica, help me.
what,
You're leaving me hanging, Jessica.
but if the question
Okay.
is, what is divinity?
Now you have your own thoughts?
You and you
Stop.
and
Well,
you
we can-
and all the chaos that you're making, that's my divinity.
But I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
You gotta get up here and help us. She's
I mean,
always on my side.
we can-
She's the president. You have one youth. I bet I can get Marcus. Oh. I bet I can get Marcus. Marcus have donuts.
Not gonna lie, he does.
But Dawn, you're gonna be on my side, right? You're gonna be on my side. You're gonna get on my side. He knows that I went to the seminary school, and I've got the code.
Just because you went to seminary school doesn't mean you have all the ideas.
Well,
Nobody
Reverend
does.
Greg probably agrees with me. Come on, Reverend Greg, you've got to get in this debate, right? You've got a master's in divinity. You
Oh,
know
man.
how we do the quotes. He's only coming very slowly.
I know. I don't think he wants to be involved. I
He seems
think,
to not be interested.
did we break him?
I think
Is he?
we broke him.
Oh.
That's hard because he's got to preach next Sunday. But I bet, Erica, you would get in on this, right? You would be on my side. You love me, right?
Oh.
You know you love me.
Oh. Okay, so we got Switzerland
We got
here.
Switzerland, we got Jay, you're gonna get on this, right? Like, you're on my side as
Oh.
well. So it's
Oh.
weird. I helped with your girls, you're like, we talked in the office this morning, I offered you a donut. Donuts? Oh!
Oh.
It's on my side. I got the receipt for
Ah.
the donut.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
I think I'm getting Marcus. Marcus, save me. Save me, Marcus. Zero thoughts.
Izzy's on my side. I bet you Izzy's on my side because I have the coloring material.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you gotta bring it.
Oh, I gotta bring my own coloring.
Wait, well, pass that down. Graham, are you gonna get on this?
Yeah.
Well, where do you stand? Me or Alexa?
On my own 2 feet.
Oh. Bunch of independent thinkers we've got over here. How are we gonna solve this?
Whoa. Enough shouting and arguing. Aren't adults supposed to be behaved better than this? Wait, never mind, don't ask that. Let's all just take a deep breath and recenter ourselves. Before I let you all start talking again, I think you should set some ground rules. For starters, use statement like the I statements. For example, I like candy and you like fruit. You can state how something makes you feel, but let's not be judgy. It's important that we respect each other even if we disagree, and if you hurt each other's feelings, you should apologize even if it wasn't your intention to hurt them. If you feel like you're getting upset or frustrated, just remember our UU principles. Like our very first principle, that all people are important. Or our third principle, that we should accept one another and keep learning together. It isn't really that hard, people.
You're a kid.
Yeah, sure is.
He's kind of right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I am really sorry, Alexa. I shouldn't have tried to take over the whole message, and I know I hurt your feelings. You don't have to have a master's in divinity to speak, about your thoughts and own divinity. And I should have asked if you wanted to go first. Like that's kind of a dude thing to just assume that I should go first. And you know what? If we could just, we should have come up with some commonalities. I mean, we did go for coffee, and we probably should have sorted this out before. Yeah, we probably should have. But maybe you could, would you be willing to like share what divinity means to you now and how you prepare to encounter divinity?
Yeah. Thanks, Shawn. I'm really sorry that I tried to interrupt you while you were trying to share something important, and I know that I hurt your feelings too.
Made fun of my wiggling.
I'm really sorry. That was not cool of me. I shouldn't have made fun of your wiggling. It's part of the process. Yeah. I'd love to share with everyone what divinity means to me, and then maybe you could share a smaller portion of what you were going to say.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Thank you.
You go first.
Okay. My poetry. I'd like to begin with a poem by Frederick Adams. All life on earth participates in the dance of moon and sun, and we, engendered in the oceans, feel in our blood the pull of our moon upon the tides. We, our sunlight, transformed by trees into fruits and plasm, and we are so intimately connected with the earth that our collective dream is paradise. And then we are moved to celebrate the ceaseless play of the seasons and to ensoul ourselves, landscape and heaven. Now, that's pretty lofty, right? And UUs have a lot of different viewpoints, and that's one of our strengths, that we come from many sources. But this loftiness somehow has to get translated into tactile, hands-on community things that we do together. And it has to reflect not just the earth at large, but the small interactions that we have with each other, which can be strengthening or celebratory or sometimes harmful and hurtful. And part of our covenant is to work through that, to continue to hold space for each other and practice love and empathy. We also want to spend some time acknowledging the hardship and the happiness that we see in other people. And this is a difficult thing, I know for me at least, but to do that without judgment. To come to people with an open, neutral heart is particularly challenging, especially in the times that we live in. We are all burnt out and tired, and I could go on about the pandemic and what it's done to us, but we're all here and we're all living it. And I think that this gives us an opportunity to really live our values, to really embody this opportunity, to hold out our open hearts and to be vulnerable with each other, which again, I know I find very challenging, but I've seen it happen here, and I love it, and I admire it, and I hope that we could see some more of it. I hope that we can hold each other in gentleness even when times are particularly hard. I hope that we can hold that space for one another. I'd like to close out with a poem by Allen Ginsberg. In the back of the railroad yard in San Jose, I wandered desolate in front of a tank factory and sat on a bench near the switchman's shack. A flower lay on the hay on the asphalt highway, the dread hay flower, I thought. It had a brittle black stem and corolla of yellowish, dirty spikes, like Jesus' inch-long crown, and a soiled, dry center cotton tuft, like a used shaving brush that's been lying under the garage for a year. Yellow flower, and flower of industry, tough, spiky, ugly flower nonetheless, with the form of the great yellow rose in your brain. This is the flower of the world. I close with this to remind us that as we cherish each other, we cherish our imperfections as well. I cherish your spikes. I cherish your brittle stem. I hope we can all cherish those imperfections as we keep in our mind the great rose that we aspire to be. Thank you.
You were right. I should have let you go first. I hope you all might have gathered that, oh, Deanna says I can take my mask off. Approval from the president. I hope you all are in on the fact that we're not really fighting. We planned that. I love Alexa really, and it was a ruse. We have actually fought before, but we still love each other. We worked it out. We did this intentionally today. It was part of our preparation for encountering divinity. I've said a number of times in different conversations that my heart hurt because I haven't always seen the best of ourselves in recent months, in this last year, as we've come back together. I've seen us act kind of like we did today. I've seen us be judgy of one another's imperfections. I've seen us not honor the holy in our community, in one another. And that hurts my heart because you all are all so amazing. And the love and care that you have provided for me in my own journey, in my own growth, in my first ever Unitarian Universalist congregation, you have walked with me in many ways that have changed who I am as a person, who I am as a minister, who I am as a friend, a son, a uncle, a godparent. I've seen you love one another through tough times, but for some reason this tough time has sparked within us our sharper thorns, our harder imperfections. And so Alexa and I wanted to prepare to encounter the Holy next week for Easter by transparency and honesty and a gentle nudging to say that for me, for us, as we talked in our own conversation about what is divinity, for us, self-awareness is how we prepare for the holy to be near us, however you define that, however divinity sits for you, however you honor your fellow human on this journey, on this path together. Because the ways we want to be in the world start in this community. Some of you may know in my real job, my day-to-day job, I am in charge of community outreach, community events. And my own agency has had its own kerfluffle, is what we'll call it. It's a good old school term, kerfluffle. Lots of stepping on of toes, lots of, why aren't you doing this? Why isn't this in your job description? And suddenly, nobody's job is a job anymore. Oh, I need help with this. Oh, it's not my job. Suddenly, it's everywhere. And in a meeting, I mentioned that the way that we outreach to the community is based on how we gather as a community ourselves. The way that we show up here in this space, in this grouping of people, will reflect how we go and present ourselves to other communities, how we interact with other congregations, with other individuals. It starts here. It's a good kind of petri dish, right? Because this is the space where we can love one another through whatever is happening within us that leads us to not act from our core loving space. I invite you this week, as we're approaching Easter next Sunday, and a very exciting Easter egg hunt after the service. Just a plug for the RE program again. As we're going through this week, I invite you to think about, how do you want to show up in this community? How do you want to embody your holy, your divine, as we walk together for another person? How do I want someone else to see me? How do I want to be in this space? What kind of love do I want to bring to this community? And know that we're going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up. We're going to hurt each other, intentionally or unintentionally. Most of the time, unintentionally. And we're going to love each other through that. We're going to hold each other's hands. We're going to do our best to listen to the young people who tell us that we should respect one another, that it's not really that hard. Right, Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. Let us join together in our closing hymn. We are going to sit at the welcome table.
We're gonna sit at the welcome table. We're gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days. Hallelujah. We're gonna sit at the welcome table. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days. All kinds of people around that table. All kinds of people around that table one of these days. Hallelujah. No, around that table. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days. No fancy style at the welcome table. No fancy style at the welcome table one of these days. Hallelujah. No fancy style at the welcome table. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days.
That last verse again. Is that okay with you? Sorry, you all. I just want to sing the last verse one more time.
Not often you get an encore at church.
But you see?
Just a little intro, though,
Yes,
so that
please.
we all start together.
No, I just was really into it, and the song ended while I was into it, and I was jamming. I just want to be into it again. I was feeling the Spirit was rising in me. Please, yes. Please.
No fancy style at the welcome table. No fancy style at the welcome table one of these days. Hallelujah. No fancy style at the welcome table. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days.
Woo! Thank you for indulging me. Okay. Please join us in reciting these words to extinguish our chalice, led by the wonderful Michael Sarton.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
If you could give just a round of applause for my wonderful team here today, particularly the wonderful Michael Sarton, and for Eric going through everything with us, Graham for moving the camera around, Jay and Jessica for such wonderful music today, and our wonderful Paul Clifford, who is the top best RE teacher I have ever known, and is so grateful to accommodate me upon 3-day requests. I invite you to just lift your hands out because we want to still protect one another's health and well-being. If you're in the Zooms, you can actually put your hands to the side, and then it'll look like you're touching. Oh, such a great visual. As we leave from this place after such a wonderful worship together, such a wonderful time with one another, may we take in the holy in all the places that we find. May we bring it back to one another in this space every time we can. May it be so. Oh, thank you. Good job, team. Good job, team. Oh, Will speak. Alexi, you need to finish this.